Now what? This is the question I wanted to ask you when you get to the point where you're at the point where your health and fitness is where you don't want it to be. You've realised that, I know, maybe you've been snacking too much over lockdown. Maybe you feel that you've just been too lazy. Maybe you've just not had the motivation to get off your ass and do something. Maybe you've been talking about it all this time. You've tried lots of different things, but the mojo's just not there, and you've not done anything about it. You've found that life has got in the way, and you are at a point where now it's like, now what? That's the question I want to ask you. Now what? Or what now? Whichever way you want to listen to that question. It's like, okay, the first part of change is to be aware. The first step in changing something is to become aware of the situation you're in, the body that you are in, the feelings that you have, the situation and the environment that you have, and the people around you, and everything. Like, once you assess, once you're aware of where you are, only then can you then decide what you're going to do. And that's where that now what question comes into play. It's like, yeah, I get that you may be unhappy with the way things have got to, but now what? Or what now? I'm still not sure which way it lands better, to say now what or what now. But either way, it's okay, you've come to a certain point in your life, and is enough enough? Is it the point where you feel, okay, if something doesn't change, nothing's going to change? Are you at that point yet? Do you feel at that point? Because what else is it going to take for you to decide? What else is it going to take for you to decide? Like, you've got to the point where you're unhappy with the way things are. You're unhappy about your level of motivation. You're unhappy about the bad habits that you've got into over these last 12 months or so. You're unhappy with your level of activity. You're unhappy with the way that you eat and drink. You're unhappy with your sleep or your energy levels or whatever it is. So, what now? Ask yourself that question. What now? Do you continue, or do you do something about it? It's a bitter pill to swallow sometimes. It can feel like just an overwhelming feeling of, well, there's nothing I can do about it. But really, is there nothing that you can do about it? Have you tried everything? Have you given enough effort? Have you put enough effort into actually changing things? Have you sought help? Have you honestly tried everything? Because if you had tried everything, then you would have come across something that worked for you. Or if you feel that you've tried something, did you give it enough time? Did you get the right advice? Did you get the right help? Were you investing time, money, and effort into the right things to help you change? But it all comes back to these two little words. Now what? As in, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do next? Now that you are aware of a situation that you are in, which is a culmination of all the decisions that you've been making up till now, and it's kind of a crossroads. It's like, do you continue down this path? And you can play it out. You know where this could end up or could take you towards. If you give it like 2 seconds just to think about where this could take you in a week's time, a month's time, 6 months down the line, another 12 months down the line, if you continue on the path that you're on? Or do you change course? That's where the now what question comes in. That's where the what now question comes in, however you want to phrase it. But once you have that awareness, you then have the decision, because even if you don't do something about it, you're still deciding not to do something. So the choice is yours. What now? Now what? They're the two words that I want you to ask yourself, and I want you to get cheesed off with it. I want you to get to the point where it's like, yeah, it's a 𝗪𝗁𝗀𝗁𝗀 situation that I'm in, or the feelings I want aren't the ones that I want, or the body I'm in isn't the one that I want, or the energy levels or the clothes I'm wearing or whatever it is that you want to change or you're unhappy with. I want you to be PISSED off with it, because you can then use that as fire in your belly to push you forwards to make those decisions that are going to mean that you're going to have a different trajectory to the one that you know could happen if you don't do something about it. And at this time, it may feel like an inconsequential decision that you could be making, but play it out in your head. Write it down. Think about it. Like, where could these things lead to if you don't do something about it? Or when you decide not to do something about it, where could that lead to? Versus you deciding to do something about it and look 6 months into the future, 12 months into the future, at the possibilities of where that could take you, how different your life could feel, how you could feel different, how you could look different. They're the two words I want you to think about. Today, tomorrow, whenever, when you get to that point where you are like, whoa, lockdown pounds, or whoa, I'm not happy that these clothes are too tight, or whoa, whatever situation that is going to spur you on to make change, ask yourself that question. Now what? What am I going to do next? Now what?